Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, and I'm a New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and I'm also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with healer, mentor, and artist, Shirly Keren. For more on Shirly, you can read more about her right below this video, but in the meantime, here is my interview with the incredible Shirly. Well, hello, Shirly, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
It is so nice to meet you. And oh my goodness, I have been looking forward to speaking with you for weeks now and just getting to know you through what is online. I just have so much to ask you, so I want to get started. Shirly, you are such an amazingly acclaimed, accomplished healer and mentor. And I want to know when you knew you had this special sense of compassion and empathy for the line of work that you're in.
Since I know myself, I always was the one who, with a friend that somebody hasn't had a headache, and then I'll be there, I'll put my hands on, and then it's gone. It was always part of me. I always was very attracted to it. I didn't pay attention to it very much. So my journey actually started with me loving and passionately with pottery. And then I was in this, all the art, all the pottery part, me always in management positions in my life. And then I came here 20 years ago. And I went, part of my journey was I closed my studio for the pottery in one part, and then I started my journey. So when I started my journey, my healing journey here, 17 years ago for me, and it all started from my own work on myself. And then part of my journey was to go learn something that relate to touch. This is from my spiritual teacher, and I went to Reflexology. And since then, I just realized the gift that I have, that I can feel really tapped into others' energy and feel it within me, and knowing, where to go with it. But then I saw that people, come with the same problem after they feel okay. So I understood that it's not only, like take an Advil and go home. We really need to tap into our own emotions and to see what what the story that are here to tell us in order to grow. So,
absolutely. In a time like this now more than ever, obviously we've all been dealt a trauma. And, when I think about this blockage that has been caused by the trauma of these past 15 months, and just in what you do, I mean, have you seen over these past, almost year and a half, the way people are dealing with trauma and your ability to be so not only intuitive, Shirly, but this is a craft. This is something that you've studied, but also this is an innate talent that you have.
Yeah, I agree. And it's part of it is really to learn how to listen, because you can tell a story, but the other side needs to really listen and really dig. I'm like kind of like digging, like this is the part that needs to, okay, let's bring this up, or let's bring something else up. It's the listening part, and to ask the right questions for you, to bring out what needs to come out. Because so this is the way I kind of guide them, and then again to teach them how the love. Because when you work with the love of the universe, everything really flows really, really so easily. And I'm talking from my own experience. I did so many changes and shifts in my life that now, before those obstacles came, it was just like something, something you learn, like I read a book. Okay, I know it's in existence, but you don't know what to do with it. But life brought me to those places, like the deep one that, okay, now use your tools. And from that, I came up, with the way I work and bring my own kind of voice, color, whatever, we want to call it, to really make the change. And I see the change in people that, my business in the healing business just really flourish in the pandemic time. And just to see that change in people Like I told the other day, last week or so, to one of my clients that basically you're 6 weeks with me, but it's only 6 hours that you're talking to me, and just see the change. And then she's like, whoa.
That must be so gratifying for you, Shirley,
Oh my
to see the journeys that your clients go on, but also your own journey. If you don't mind, I have a question. If you don't mind sharing with me, what was that moment or maybe series of moments for you that made you realize, wow, I've been put on this earth as a spiritual vessel? Because that's what I look at what you do. You are almost, you're a beautiful vessel that has this gift of intuition to help people not only heal from the outside world, but also heal from within.
It's always from within. It's like, it's the law of reflection. It's everything that's happening outside, and you coming from all the directing everything. It's like, this is part of what I'm teaching the client is, this is your movie. It's the way you want to direct it. It's like you're the director of your own life and creation. So when you detach from the emotion and being able to really, let's say, we give role to people, it's like we give the role to our parents, to our kids. And like a director, now you say, okay, it's the same actor, but now I give you a different role. It's very easy when we see it from far away or in the movie, but this is what we need to do to ourselves and change role. This is like what I did with my son or my mom, like very intense relationship that the minute that you change the role, and a few more things to be aware of, I can tell you that it's like, for me, it was just like a miracle. And just really to see it, it's each time I have this story from a client, it's just, I feel, okay, this is why I'm here. It's just, I'm content. I'm the happiest person.
Well, you're in your bliss, Shirley, and I love that analogy. I mean, being a director myself, I love that analogy that you're the director of your own life. But what a beautiful way, in concise, digestible way to put it. Because at the end of the day, and correct me if I'm wrong, as much as we're all on our own journey, we also have choices in life. And I think people sometimes forget that at the end of the day, with all the expectations the world and others may put on us, that we have the choice, that we have the power to make the choice.
It's the choice, even what energy we put in everything. Because we have the tendency to translate something, and it triggers some emotion within us. So the minute that it triggers the emotion, and the emotion connects to some belief system, a limit belief system, you're trapped until you realize that you believe in something that really doesn't have nothing that is true about it, or really, real. So basically, the minute that we understand that it's not real anymore, this belief system, this belief system is gone. But the thing is to really put something instead, not to leave the blank. So if I'm willing to let go of whatever belief system, I believe in myself. Let's say I work many years of my life, it's the worthiness. And if I put aside and I know that this is not real, I don't believe it anymore. So I'm letting go, and now I know I'm worthy.
Wow.
This is how kind of like the place that you put your mind in and bring the new thoughts. We just need to let go of the autopilot and take control, like hold the wheel.
Oh my God, Shirley, I wish I had you like just voice memos of Shirley on my phone that I could just like repeat every day. You have these little like tidbits. I'm like, I'm gonna write this down. And you're like, you should be like, no, Will, you don't get it unless you pay me. But speaking of, in addition to your amazing, amazing career as a healer and a mentor, and it's an art that you do, obviously, and I really do look at it like that, if I'm not being disrespectful, but you also have a journey as an artist in other ways, from your pottery to your jewelry to your painting. I went on your Etsy. People can go and buy and look at what you've done there. I'm curious to know what you are able to do as an artist in pottery, jewelry, and painting that you feel coincides a little bit with your healing and spiritual journey.
So just lately, because I had, again, the pottery, for me, it was a, instant love relationship when I was 21, which was 33 years ago. When I came here, I knew that immediately I need to find a studio to work with in, because I cannot, in the time that I'm not creating, I feel it after like few months. If I won't do anything, you know, you have those points in your life that you're just not creative. I can feel how I'm just not calm, you know, there's something not balanced within me. So when I didn't have the ability to do the pottery, so this is when I start painting, or then I do jewelry, or creating the jewelry from like PMC, it's precious metal clay. So it's like fine silver, or I have to do something. And then just the pandemic brought me back to the pottery, to my life, after I haven't done it for 13 years. So I'm just again, and I brought the studio to my home, and it's just, now I realize that when I teach, because I teach only one-on-one, only private sessions, and I have like a limit spots for that, that through the clay, because I always been able to read people through when they working with clay. And I realized just lately, the last year, that I'm the only one that I'm thinking, I think, at least as a teacher who teach pottery, that I'm using always I'm like putting the parallel between working with the clay to real life, because it's so connected. And this is like I feel like this is my next call, is to do something that will connect, because really to understand, because when you support, you need to, have you worked on the wheel once before in your life? Did you try to work on the pottery wheel?
You know, I have never worked with pottery in the way that you're saying it, but something that you're saying that's connecting with me, Shirley, is this whole notion that you've taken whatever you went through that caused a trauma that led you to your healing and spiritual and mentor journey that is now then buoying you into pottery and using your hands to create art. I can actually relate. My whole life, now this is going to be therapy. I'll pay you later. But my whole life, the expectation for me was to pursue a career with my twin brother, Anthony. And we had a beautiful career. We headlined Carnegie Hall, but I always wanted to be a director, because for me, although I'm a great singer, great entertainer, I always felt more joy when I was getting the best out of someone else. And I realized, though, that I'm actually happy I became a director later in life, because I was able to use all those tools as a performer and buoying it. And then when I became a director, it was like, oh, now I realize why I needed to wait. So I just got a chill while you were telling me about that you're feeling for yourself, this almost buoying from one to another, but it's actually not one to another. You can combine them. And Shirley, years of therapy and thousands of dollars, I could have had this conversation and I could have realized, wait, I can do everything, and that everything is in one life.
I'll tell you one thing that my teacher told me. We are a tree, right? And a tree doesn't have only one branch. It has a lot. You can be this and this and everything. You can just be wherever your passion is. And you know, I really like divide my day. It's I can start with a session, or you know, mentoring, and then it can be one-on-one class, and then it could be me sitting on the pottery wheel, and then you know, the sales, you know, whatever comes, it comes to me through friends, through Etsy. I'm like kind of like only a year in Etsy, so it's just my day is like everything, and this is where I feel the most, you know, the whole, you know, like, okay, this is
Well,
me.
I love that analogy, though, because you're right. A tree doesn't just have one branch. It has so many, but however, it's one trunk and one foundation. And if we,
and you're so many. You can
and I'm so excited, Shirley, that you're joining FENIX, because I mean, already me being on it, I already have 5 collaborations with people in the East. And this is even before FENIX has blown up. I've only been a part of this for almost 3 months. And when I think about you and your artistry, because I do consider everything you do as an artist, that you have the ability to heal, mentor, and create. And I'm just so excited that with everything that you do, it's universal, it's transcendent of language, creed, and location. So I'm excited that you're joining FENIX and also being able to expand already, obviously, the vast network that you have.
Me too.
And my dogs, by the way, are excited as well.
Yes. Yeah. It was a good one.
But Shirley, thank you so much for your time today. And I really look forward to continuing connecting with you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.